Welcome to the Investors Trading Academy Economic Calendar of the Week. Each week our news analysts review the upcoming economic events that you should be monitoring. Last week ended with China and oil sending shivers down traders' spines. Risk of trading with the market goals as the Japanese yen soared in the safe haven environment. With oil in full retreat as well, it looks like we will see more downside in equities in the coming week. The Bank of England essentially put the sellers in control of sterling, and the chances of a 2016 rate rise already has become more and more remote. Meanwhile, the Bank of Canada and European Central Bank come into focus for the coming week, with the latter expected to leave stimulus unchanged and the former likely to hold rates at 0.5% despite the ongoing fall in oil prices. We also have CPI figures from the UK, Eurozone and US, which will be key events for FX markets as they attempt to determine monetary policy decisions for these economies. The key event this week will be the ECB meeting on Thursday. No one is sure exactly what to expect from Mario Draghi after lackluster inflation and growth data over the past month. A steady stream of important economic indicators this week in almost all jurisdictions could be expected to keep investors and traders on their toes. To begin with, the possibility existed that over the weekend the International Atomic Energy Agency would sign off on the lifting of nuclear sanctions against Iran. That could pave the way for Iranian crude oil exports to start returning to international markets as soon as Monday. Chinese economic data dominates the early part of the week, while US economic data is a mixed bag of leading indicators and surveys and data on housing activity. This week kicks off in China on Monday with the release of the home price data for December. Prices are up 0.9% over the year. On Tuesday, China releases economic growth data for the December quarter, as well as activity data for the December month. Economists expect the economy grew 6.8% in the year to December. After a holiday on Monday, in the US, the week kicks off on Tuesday with the housing market index data on capital flows and the usual weekly data on chain store sales. On Wednesday, the all-important data on consumer prices is released, timely given that the figures are 1 week out from the first Federal Reserve meeting of 2016. Core underlying inflation is up 2% over the year. Data on housing starts is also released on Wednesday with weekly mortgage data. On Thursday, the influential Philadelphia Federal Reserve survey is issued, together with the weekly data on new claims for unemployment insurance, jobless claims. On Friday, the leading index is released together with data on existing home sales. The leading index may have lifted 0.2% in December, while existing home sales may have clawed back 9% of the 10.5% lost in November. The flash or preliminary purchasing manager indexes for January are released in the US and Europe.